I have co-hosted with a robot once, so I want to know from my audience here, not the online one, what do you think about AI voices taking over stages? Yes, no, maybe? No? No, right? Like, I think in content as well, there is, anytime I hear an AI voice, I feel no connection to that content. And I hope that this human connection continues. So join me as I welcome our next panel discussion here. It's going to talk about what does AI, music and entertainment say about online marketing. Quite a lot, actually. So let's welcome our moderator for the session, Abhishek Mehrotra, National Creative Director at HT Digital Streams at HT Media. Everyone, come on! We are still human, present here. Yes, please do, Abhishek. And now let's welcome our panelist for the session. Join me in welcoming Vatsal Sheth, co-founder and CEO at Prism Mix Studios. Everyone, put your hands together. A known face you've seen on screens as well. Welcome, Vatsal. Please welcome our next panelist, Sahil Nair, co-founder and chief creative officer at Prism Mix Studios. Very warm welcome to you as well. Binda Day, Group CMO, Knight Riders Sports Private Limited. Everyone, put your hands together and welcome her. Joining us on the panel, we also have Vikina Dillon, Creator-in-Chief at The Foundry. Everyone, please welcome Ms. Dillon. On the panel, we are also joined by Abhijit Bhattacharya, AVP Marketing at Super Gaming. And last but not the least, please welcome Ildiko Kisimunawa, Business Director at NAS Daily and 1000 Media, Storytelling, Content Strategy and Growth Leader. Everyone, put your hands together for her. A very warm welcome to our panelists. Please do take a seat. And Abhishek, I'd leave the stage to you.
Hi, everybody. We are discussing AI, so everybody has something to share with us. Anybody from the audience has anything to share with us on AI? Anybody's dabbling with AI in any capacity? Okay, so we have the right audience here who's going to tell us about, or rather, be able to listen to us about AI.
Actually, they can't admit, right, that they are using AI.
So yeah, today's topic, what does AI, music and entertainment say about online marketing? Quite a lot, actually, and we've got some very distinguished people over here. And in fact, I would like to start the conversation with Sahil and Vatsal on creating AI content from the scratch and how they're enabling the ecosystem when it comes to filmmaking and video content creation, and how generative AI is playing its role not only in the ecosystem but also from an education perspective. So yeah, over to you guys.
Thanks, and hello to everybody. I'm really glad to see a lot of young students here because, the central answer around your question is that, yes, we are enabling, AI is allowing us to enable a lot of young people to join an industry like ours because Vatsal's been an actor for over 25 years. Our company is foundationally an entertainment company that was following the traditional ethos of, any media, whether it was advertising, filmmaking. But with generative AI now, we are actually moving beyond qualified CVs, if I were to say, right? The talent scouting is happening purely basis young people who come up with different ideas. So the ecosystem is a hybrid ecosystem. While we still have the traditional players, the traditional film writers, but a lot of our team is now comprised of young people who are able to bring new solutions, which obviously generative AI enables them to kind of, ideate and bring new ideas to the table. You want to add something on that, Vatsal?
Yeah, as Sahil mentioned that I think it's the era of AI, and I think we all should accept it. There are a lot of people still fighting AI. I personally feel that there'll be you should look at it as advancement of technology, and you should use it to your advantage. And a lot of people are doing it. And I think what we are doing at Prismic Studios is that we are empowering, we are enabling young filmmakers who traditionally would have never even got a budget or a greenlit to make a film. But we are getting them on board. We are creating short films. In fact, Prismic Studios has been the first actual company to get AI visuals onto cinema, which was with our film Ma. So that's some amazing stuff happening in AI, and I think we are all very excited. And of course, you spoke about education. So apart from entertainment, we are also we've also tied up with a company called Get Set Learn, where we are actually going out to schools with great AI tech and media, and trying to teach them topics which are social emotional learning, for example, empathy, emotional intelligence. So these are the topics which we want to go out and teach kids through AI.
Right. So this, just to set context, we've got somebody who's got AI as a creative partner, if I can say so. I'd like to come to Deeco. You're a content creator first. Do you also see AI as the right creative partner, because you're into short form video? And how are you using AI tools to push out content to your audiences? Are you able to create that extra push with AI? Are you able to see that X factor with AI, or you still, because there's a whole human angle that is there to this?
First of all, hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming and listening to us. Hopefully you will learn something. About AI, we believe that AI is here and it's not gonna go away. So you gotta jump on this. If you can beat them, join them. And then actually, we jumped on this, probably one of the first creators that jumped on this. When Midjourney started, do you guys know Midjourney? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Midjourney started, I think in the 2022 or something like that, we already started to use it for our thumbnails and for our Snapchat tiles.
Right.
Because Snapchat, you call it tiles. And we were like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Our designer, instead of working on something for 10 hours, now it's done in like 2 hours, because at that time was not as efficient as now. So this was the first thing. We are always very innovative because we are a very lean agency and content creators. It's very easy for us to jump on new things and experiment. We experiment a lot. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we feel like, okay, this was a great experiment. And the other experiment we did when the video became more popular and VO3 launched, which was July, we were one of the first that started to use VO3. And because that happened, we came up with this 100 days AI videos series. Anyways, we are known for series. Nas Daily has created multiple series, and this was a big challenge. So for 100 days, every day, we posted an AI-generated video. Fully AI-generated, I think, except the voiceover, because unfortunately 11 Labs is not there yet, and it doesn't sound really human. So the voice was not AI-generated, but everything else was AI-generated. And guess what? In 100 days, we got around 700 million views.
And that rate is consistent even now, because there was novelty at that point of time.
Well, we did it for 100 days, so that means from July, August, September. We finished somewhere end of September.
Right.
And then many of them went super viral, which was also interesting for us. And some of them didn't. And when I'm talking about viral for us, if it's below 1 million, that's bad. That means that video was bad. If it's above 1 million, then we consider that, okay, this was great. And one of the videos, which is about a frog, and it's actually a moral story about, I don't know who's seen the frog video, because we got 20 million views. Hands in the air if you've seen the boiling frog video. No one? I wish we could play it, or maybe you guys can go and play it. So it's a very interesting video, but there is a moral story, which is about like when you feel too comfortable, then you don't do things and then you don't have adventure. But we just used frog as the allegory, and we started to use these parables and create these stories. And then, yes, we found a lot of success. And we definitely look at AI as now we can tell stories which we couldn't before. The other thing we did is we went back to the past and we talked to Albert Einstein. Or we went to the future and we saw, when we showed people like, how is it going to look like in like 20 or 30 years from now, Israel and Palestine, that they are in peace. So you can do a lot of things with AI which you couldn't do before, but something that is really, really, really important, and this is what we realized from the 100-day challenge, that the story is the most important, not the AI tool.
Right, right. Yeah, that brings me to Vikyana because I want to touch upon the creator economy, which is usually built on the human authenticity. So if AI can generate content, it can generate scripts, it can create videos, create virtual influencers. What is the human angle that you still feel still needs to be governed there? As she rightly said, that at the end of the day, there has to be a human touch to it. Would you like to add something to that?
We were here first, so I think the answer to your question is within the question itself. AI generates, humans create. AI can generate with human input and with human curation.
Verified human stamp is the word we're looking for.
Verified, yeah, I love that phrase. And I'm very picky about titles on occasion, especially if it's Tuesdays, occasionally on Saturdays. So I think that we don't need a human qualifier. I think content, if we've created tech and that tech generates content, good, bad, and ugly, it's ours anyways. So we don't need a qualifier to say this is human content or this is verified. Ulta karo. It should be AI assisted or an emblem, and we should have something that's universal. And I think that as a society, because what tech does is that it mitigates and it molds culture instantly, quickly. It's an instant revolution. And the potential for harm we're seeing with whether it's fake news or with whatever is coming out, if we have some sort of universal emblem that allows us to see that this is something that's 100% our content and this is something that has been augmented by technology, so be it. And let's also remember that the process can never become the processor. So Frankenstein is named after the doctor, not the monster.
Yes.
So whatever our content is, it is. So will AI kill creativity? No, but it will get rid of mediocrity, which is a very good thing. Artificial intelligence will outrun superficial intelligence. So gone are the days of Jaljo or we'll fix it in post. Now everyone has to up their game. So UGC creators, this is a tremendous opportunity for them to level up for a higher technical bar, for fledgling filmmakers. I mean, you guys have it so easy compared to what any of us would have wanted to accomplish. Because now, just from your laptop, you can cast, you can write, you can produce, and you can do the post all in the privacy of your own home, and create proof of concepts or short films, and you can hit the ground running far faster than any of us or of our generation would have wanted. So what is also going to happen is now, because of that, this field is going to get very muddy because there's going to be more forms and more expression of that content. Ultimately, it's going to be the consumer or it's going to be the viewer that's going to be the sniper to color.
Okay, so clear takeaways that you have to work with AI hand in hand. Perfect time to bring the marketing quotient over here. Binda, I'm going to ask you about sports marketing. It's about shadowing the unscripted community passion. AI excels at data-driven solutions, scripted personalization. Suddenly you are in a situation where you have to use AI and you are trying to predict what's going to happen with less data or probably it's something unscripted. So how do you approach this?
As you rightly said, AI is about patterns and predictability. And sports marketing, you're playing, you are creating content in a live sports situation with real human beings, players, who has their emotional ups and downs. So we use AI basically to build in efficiencies to enhance the kind of content we are making. Even, we use AI to listen. What are the fans actually interested about? What are they talking about? What are the content they are naturally gravitating about? So the author, of course, we have our in-house team who creates the content. But what we get from AI are beautiful insights or content bucket, which is going to work. And many times, actually, there are these micro signals, which is very difficult for us as human beings to pick up. From markets, we've not even realized, there are pockets of Knight Rider fans there. And the kind of content they are gravitating towards. One of very nice insight we got, more packaged and, well-produced content, cinematic content, when it comes to social media is just not working. And
Right.
we've broken our head over it because as a content team, we take a lot of pride in making those beautiful content, but real, authentic, unedited content is what's actually fans looking for. And this
Sure.
is an insight that we got from
That's
AI.
interesting. Abhijit, I'll come to you. From a marketing perspective, is it better to lean into tech or to hide it to just make it feel real? How do you use AI to build communities, or is the game still about acquiring users?
Thank you for that question. So my response to that is, it's not about for us, it's not about do we need to hide that it's AI generated or we're using AI in the tech of making games, or the fact of coming out very clean, hey, this is the best AI game out there. What we need to sell or what we need to project is the experience that we're enabling for our end consumer. That has to be goal, not only for gaming, across every brand, every property that we are there. AI is just an efficiency optimizer. We are going to use AI to generate more content, unearth all the data that we have. How can we leverage that? So that is something that we can talk about, and we have to be very upfront about it. But selling a property, be it a game or any other thing, on the name of, hey, it's AI generated, you should try it out, it's not going to work. We've seen a lot of examples. I think all the students here, apart from studying or more than studying, they might have played a lot of games on mobiles, on PlayStations, right? Everyone knows about Call of Duty and everything.
Yeah.
They have a lot of AI generated content which they're unearthing in their communities. It's not there in the game. It's there in a sort of a way in terms of an invisible layer, how they're optimizing the overall game experience. That is what matters to the end consumer. What am I making them feel? So that is the selling point. Now coming to how we are using AI at Super Gaming for building out our communities. Even before AI was there or that prevalent, we take pride in terms of reaching out to communities, building out. We have traveled across the country, across cities in terms of reaching out people who are playing these kind of games or the genre of games, understanding, hey, what is it that they like? How can we give them an identity, right? How can we make them feel seen? AI now, what it does is we've built that community from our heart, from the grounds up. AI is now helping us in terms of leveraging and figuring out who are the main spokesperson. How it does that? Earlier, if I draw a parallel, initially it used to take a lot of time, a moderator to understand what is happening, what are the sentiment. There is a team that's doing a sentiment analysis, coming back to us with signals. Now with AI, it's speed tracked. At this time and age, I think speed, skill are the key two modes that any person or team should have. Skill in terms of figuring out and identifying what needs to be done, and speed in terms of how soon you can do it, or how I tell it to at least my friends and my teams that how soon can you fail. Fail, learn, optimize, and grow. So that's the key mantra that we follow.
Very interesting that you said about fail. So that brings me to a more difficult question, if I can say that. Tell me or give me an example where actually AI has failed, because some AI didn't come out perfect. You used the word Frankenstein. I was watching it on Netflix when actually Victor creates Frankenstein. Frankenstein can't even walk. So when AI was first created, or when you start dabbling with it, when you're probably prompting wrong, what are the mistakes you feel you made, or you think some of the course corrections that could have been done? Because all of you all have said it works for you all. I'm sure somewhere it didn't work for you all also.
I'll just add a quick note before passing on. I think AI will fail at this point. AI will fail everywhere there is passion involved, where there are human insights
Why do you
involved.
say passion?
So it's again comes down to how we're talking about how well can you prompt. AI is great in terms of helping us, enabling, getting a lot of insights parsed, figuring out what the next steps are, but how do we shape that narrative, how do we bring in that culture, that will come by our experiences. So I think at this point in time, AI is not ready to get that thing done. That's where I think AI is here to stay. We will grow with AI, but with the human intervention, that's going to be very crucial in terms of taking AI to the next step.
Right. Anybody else wants to take a stab at that?
Well, the only thing from my experience that I feel that AI fails is where it's emotion. It doesn't have any emotion. So that's the thing. It can do everything else. If you
That's again Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. You prompt it right. You try and try. You'll get it. It'll happen, but it just lacks emotion, and that's the reason. As everybody said, that you need a human behind it. It's just a tool. Use it as a tool.
Sahil, you want to add? No, I think. I'll come to the next question about AI. We pretty much are looking AI in a space where, yes, we have to collaborate with it in an interesting way. But the invisible AI is what I want to touch upon, because beyond your obvious chatbots and what is it about invisible AI which we've not touched upon? What is that one insight for consumers that we don't know and that it's currently shaping our experiences right now? What is that invisible AI that we've not even touched upon yet? Abhijit, do you want to?
So in terms of invisible AI, I think it's the predictive analysis model that's always been there. Now it's moving up at speed and scale. If I talk about the game universe, right, everything that a player is doing, right, is shaping up the experiences, the next level that he's progressing, how matchmakings are getting done, how are you getting into different lobbies, how, what is the kind of content that is getting exposed to you within that content format or that entire bucket is a predictive model analysis, which AI has sped up, and it's always been there. Now, companies, brands, products are using it to their benefit and not for business metrics. Of course, that is the end goal. But how to cater to their customers much more better, because at the end of the day, it's customer affinity, brand love, and loyalty.
Right.
I think something that we haven't touched upon yet is how AI is shaping a brand perception. So SEO is dead. Google is dead. It's all about GEO now, which is generative engine optimization. And I think brands really need to start thinking about what is ChatGPT telling about them. And then how ChatGPT gets this information, what's the source. And I think this is going to become the next thing.
That's interesting. Anybody else wants to add?
You spoke about invisible AI. I think the most invisible AI is the one that's going to come in the next 5 seconds. Something we're not aware of, because especially in our industry, it's moving so rapidly, right? That you fine-tune a model in terms of a creative workflow, and there's something new that's lurking, right? So I think the invisible element is to identify, how you can optimize or customize, solutions that are openly available in the market. So while there will be multiple tools, Gemini is coming up with its own vibe coding today, but I believe there's great potential in the optimizing of AI to cater to specific solutions that a company may want to kind of cater to.
Interesting. I want to now, somebody spoke about business outcomes. I want to touch upon budget allocation, which is connected to business, because now that things are moving faster, the CFO will say, you know what, you're using AI, you don't need to spend 3 months on post-production, cut down your budgets, reduce your staff. So how you guys are allocating, whether it's creating content or whether it's rationalizing to get more users on board? Are you increasing budgets for AI? How are you navigating these interesting conversations with the finance head?
So I'll just quickly answer from our perspective, right? I think looking at AI from a budget perspective is the wrong way to look at it. You do not do AI because you believe it is cheap. So from our standpoint, we never look at it saying that, oh, we have a cheaper solution for you. No, we look at it from a point of view that if there's something that was not possible within a certain ecosystem, there are multiple dependencies, right? Logistics. Like we did an ad for a brand called Star Cruise. More than the budget, Star Cruise will have all the budgets, but there's a logistical nightmare in kind of shooting something on their ship. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
no,
we are not breaking it down basis AI because it's cheap. We're bringing it down because it's more efficient, and it can actually do things which traditional media couldn't. So that's a different way in which the ROIs for us are basically looked at.
It did replace, if AI didn't exist, it did replace the opportunity to go and shoot in Singapore.
It created a new opportunity. Right. So there are brands. There are brands that would have never thought of moving media for marketing, but they're now looking at moving media because it's a new avenue for them. So it's not actually driving out of budgets, I believe.
I will just add on to it. I agree, it's not looked at there will be a certain portion of budget allocated for AI. But yeah, our internal AI infrastructure, you know, for collecting first-party data and analysis, of course, there's a lot more investment on it. But that's not at a cost of cutting down a budget. That's now become necessary. You know, part of the business you have to look at. And also, you know, AI, what it does is instead of cutting down on the number of resources you've allocated in your content team, actually, because of the speed and the efficiency you build in, you can try out so many more formats. You can customize content as per platform. So that kind of job has become easier. So it doesn't cut down for sure. And there is no separate head other than infrastructure if you're building out and if you're building a team around it. And that's a long-term goal everyone has.
Sure, sure. Yeah, Abhijit, please.
Just adding my 2 cents here, I think everyone already pointed it out. We should not look at it as in terms of allocation of budgets. We should look at it as cost efficiency, as ROI in performance marketing, we call it. Just drawing a parallel here, we need to spend in terms of, you know, the AI systems that we're building in, depending on the life cycle of the business, but an equal amount, if not more, has to be spent in terms of upgrading your resources. Very coldly put, but in terms of upscaling your workforce, right? Because both these things have to work together. Giving you a small example, why AI, you know, budgets are also getting allocated. If you're doing something for a product, let's say, I'm just giving an example, if you're making a film, if you have a great concept that's coming from a human, he's creating multiple adaptations using AI to save his time.
Correct.
Now that film goes out, but in a platform agnostic world where, you know, again, there is an attention, you know, deficiency syndrome, we have to be across all platforms where our customers are. Earlier is to take 30, 40, or even 10 days to create multiple adaptations. Now we can quickly get it cut down. We can get AI to generate multiple adaptations known as performance marketing ads, experiment with all of them, see what's working, and then double down in terms of spending money in that. So I think with AI and with this entire situation that's here, it's shifting. We are becoming more and more careful in terms of how we are allocating budgets. So, yeah.
Understood. You know, yeah, please.
Can I want to add like a really concrete example. We calculated the production. We wanted to actually do something really crazy, and then we calculated how much would it cost, and it was $40,000. Okay, then we were like, okay, we do not have $40,000 to make it happen, so we used AI. Of course, you could see that it's AI generated, but again, I'm coming back to the same point that our audience doesn't care as long as the story is engaging. And we do content that we call edutainment. The people love it, the people engage it, people save it, people share it, and they don't really care because at the end of the day, the most important is the message. So we did save a lot of money because of AI. But again, I'm giving you another example. I was just talking to one of my clients, and we are doing their campaign film. And I shared 10 ideas for this campaign film. And he got back to me and said like, okay, can we do something with AI? And I was like, you choose which idea you want, and I will tell you if we want to use AI or not. It's not about we are doing something with AI. No, the most important still is the idea. AI is just a tool. Either when I'm doing something, if I feel like I still need to pick up the camera and shoot it, I will do it. If I feel like it's better to have AI, and we call them now, even the videographer now we call video engineers, then we do it with AI. It's a tool at the end of the day.
Understood. I'm going to ask you 2 questions in one. You spoke about conversions and short-term user acquisition, Abhijit. But this question is for the entire panel. Do you still see AI as a short-term partner or a long-term? Because building brand, whether it's for your own platform as a content creator or building somebody else's brand, AI has not really solved that. How do you build equity for a brand? And for that, you also need talent, because there's no school right now to train you on AI. So how are you bridging that talent gap? So you have one problem, but to solve that problem, you need a talent. So how are you bringing these 2 points together?
So building brand love is the biggest challenge, because that is something that is going to carry your product forward. I always maintain that, you know, AI is helping us in terms of creating a lot of short form content, you know, rolling things out as quickly as possible. But let's not stop thinking about what is this evergreen content that we need to keep generating, because that is what going to stand the test of the time. Today with AI, I can generate 10 to 50 odd content pieces. Tomorrow the trend will change. Some new tool will come in, some new algorithm will start pushing out a new form of content, right? So I'll keep chasing these trends. We need to keep our focus in terms of evergreen content. You know, what is the purpose of our brand? Why have we started this entire product? What are we solving? I'll give you an example. AI can help with a lot of creative iterations, speed of execution, but I'm not going to take the brand name, everyone would know it. It's also a quiz sort of a thing, but no, I want them. So the idea here is that's the entire point. AI could not have predicted that a green owl who would be bullying us would force us to learn, you know, our courses. I'm talking about Duolingo. That came from a human being or a team of human beings who unearthed these insights and took that risk. AI would tell them at this point of time, hey, these are the kind of content that's working. You know, this is the time spent on your app by these consumers, and this is how you can optimize for better business metrics. So that's how the differentiation should be kept, I think.
Anybody else wants to add to that?
Yes, for sports marketing, you know, it's all about the chaos, the passion, the fan community. So, you know, that is something that has to be a human connect. And, you know, there's also a lot of trust that you build in with a certain
You don't have a
team.
problem with brand equity. Your brand is already ready and people love your brand.
No, but even when you're shooting with people, there's a lot of trust. You know, this is not reality TV we're shooting for. Sports is the main thing, and you want them to perform the best. So only human beings can do that. You know, you can't automate those things. So of course, focus on the brand equity itself, the story you want to tell. Bridging the talent gap was another thing that you brought up.
Yes.
See, again, as you also mentioned, you know, there'll be like new platforms, new technology, new algorithms, algorithms changing on current platform. It's an ever-changing thing. I think it's important to train your set of people who've been with your brand, who understands the sensitivity, the requirements that's come in, and upskill them. And also hiring the kind of people who has this, you know, interest. I mean, they want to figure out. Maza aata hai. They like to experiment, and also give them a little chance to experiment. Like for my marketing campaign also, I earmark a certain budget for experimentation.
Right.
It might fail completely. I mean, no ROI. That's a risk I'll take, and I'll explain it to my CEO that this is my experimentation budget. But it might also, you know, yield amazing results, something, you know, you couldn't have planned for. So that's the reason I think very important to hire people who have that kira that they want to learn.
Absolutely.
And figure out.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more question before we wind this discussion. Are you all using AI for creating content to be discovered or to predict user behavior? This is a question for all of you all. Can't say both. Anyone, go. Whoever wants to go first.
I was going to say that, no, I'll collect my...
Discovery or prediction? Either one. Discovery or prediction. Because you yourself admitted that AI is giving you so many avenues to experiment. So that's why I'm asking this question, whether it's for discovery or it's for prediction.
I think it's both, and it depends particularly on whatever function it is that you need AI to complete for you in that instance. In terms of marketing or in content that we want to put out there, it's now a question of prediction to that degree, because you need to, it's not a question of what you're selling, it's what the audience wants to buy, whether it's a film or whether it's a product. But I think it will constantly be evolving, because this tech was made for this generation, for the immediacy and the urgency of what it is they want, and it's constantly changing. Like Test cricket, and it's come down to what? T20, and penmanship has become typing, and now it's vertical and a 1 minute punches that have to happen, and you really don't know what's going to happen, because if we leave it up to this generation, quite honestly, God bless you all, but as it is, the capacity for viewing or the capacity for attention is just getting smaller and smaller, and it makes you wonder, after a 1 minute hype, what will the next generation want? So predictive, discovery, it's all up in the air, and I hope we can catch as many balls coming back down.
Understood.
Well, we use for content mostly. We use around 30 AI tools for content. I'm happy to share if anybody is interested later. And I want to say one more thing, and this is also a very concrete example. We wanted to feature a coffee shop in London. And then we were thinking, like, how can we make it something more interesting, okay? And then the human came up with this creative idea that what if we take the toilet as a cup and we put the coffee inside and it looks like a cappuccino and it kind of like swirls down. I know it might sound disgusting, but in the video actually it looked really cool. So when the creative team showed it to me, I was like, that's it. Because if you watch something like that, you will be like, huh? What the heck? A coffee going down the toilet? So we had an extremely high retention rate on that video. So this is what AI can do.
But that came out from a human mind, that idea.
It comes, so I 100% agree that the idea and the creative has to come from the human.
Got it.
And AI can just generate things that, I don't know, how would you even generate as a human? Would you like keep pouring a cappuccino there? Like almost impossible to generate something like that. So AI can do something like that.
Got it.
From my point of view, I think as long as if you have a huge database of first-party data, you can use AI.
Spoken just like a true marketer.
But unfortunately,
First-party data.
yeah, so that's not the case. So which is why I think discovery as well as prediction. This is personal opinion. I think both are not possible at this moment. At least our teams are leveraging AI for rapid experimentation, speed to scale, speed to execution, and as I started in the beginning in the first question, speed of failure. These are the three key parameters that we're looking at. No one can predict right now what's going to work. If there is something that has really worked in terms of a content format, people would start chasing that trend. You're going to be another Me Too in that, hey, this is my version of that. There are a few pieces that might work here and there, but those are like, again, darts that we're throwing at a board. So that's, again, as an opinion, let's leverage AI as it is meant to be, at least in our opinion. Do rapid experimentations. It's very easy to grow right now. This is a great time to be in. Don't take AI as a challenge. Rather use it to your own benefit. Else someone else would do it.
Sure. Any closing thoughts?
I think, everyone has spoken about using AI as a tool to assist you in the work and add on to, build in more efficiency. Again, we are also, for Night Riders, when we are talking to fans, these are real human beings and they are following the team out of pure love. They have nothing else to gain. So I think these are very delicate things to handle. So of course, use AI for discovering new fan bases, new cohorts, the way you even segment them, and more effective way to reach out to them. But that's where it ends. Human intervention needs to come in.
That's very well put. Yeah, Vatsal, please go ahead.
Closing, I would just like, because there are a lot of students over here who probably would be using a lot of AI stuff, just use it responsibly. That's it. It's very important to be responsible, because now you've seen a lot of trend of fake news and fake stuff happening. And you know what? We are in AI business for a while, and honestly, there are times we even can't figure out if it's a real video or an AI. So it's up to us, who are using these tools, that we have to be responsible enough.
Thanks for adding the ethical part of it. Yes, I'll go ahead.
No, I think got everything covered.
Okay, so I think that's about it. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts, and looking forward to an AI first world.
Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you to our panelists for that wonderful conversation. Lots of key insights. I'd like all of you to please come forward. And Abhishek, I'd request you to please present a token of appreciation to each of our panelists, please. Yes, we need all the calmness and serenity with AI all around us. All right, with that, we come to the concluding part of our conference. This was our last panel discussion, and now we will move towards our awards. I hope all of you are ready to celebrate.